Hi there, welcome or welcome back to Oops, I Planted Again. My name is Courtney and today's video is going to be a part 2. So last week's video was about 5 beginner houseplants that are not pothos or snake plant because those are always commonly mentioned. They're classic, we love them, we have them everywhere. But I did common plants that were not those 2 types of plants. And this week I promised you that I would do uncommon beginner friendly plants. Now, if you haven't seen the first one, I'll link it above. But for me, my parameters, the things that I feel like make a plant beginner friendly is easy care and rewarding. Those are my 2 elements to a beginner friendly plant. So let's dive right in. All of the plants that I'm mentioning are plants that I currently have in my collection. I feel like it's easier to judge plants based on their care when you've actually cared for them. So I'm looking at all of them right now. So let's get into the very first one. Don't be alarmed by the orange solo cup, but this is my philodendron billietiae, and I'll do a close-up shot of this beautiful plant for you. So I've had this plant maybe about 2 months. I got it from a Facebook plant purge, and I think I've mentioned this in a recent video, but I haven't done anything to the plant. I haven't even taken it out of the cup that it came in because it just grows. This is it had 3 leaves originally. It had this big one, this one down here, and then this little crunchy guy right here. It has since giving me this leaf right here, and it's already working on another one. I'm really debating on whether or not I want to transfer it to another medium, whether that be a soil mix, probably not leca, just because I'm not a leca expert and I don't want to risk it with this plant. Or leaving it in water because it's growing perfectly fine in water, but I feel like in soil it'll be even easier to manage. This plant just grows and that's it. Like, the care has literally been just filling up the water and that's it. I didn't even move it into my little green, my little grow light section until like 3 days ago. So this is just sitting on a shelf in this orange solo cup chillin', and it's already put out a new leaf, working on another one. But I feel like I'm gonna need to transfer it soon because it's just so ginormous and I want it to continue to grow as big as it possibly can, and I think soil is just gonna be the easiest medium because it's one that I'm comfortable with and working with. But yeah, this is my billietiae. It's huge. Like, it's huge, it's huge, it's huge. There's like 3 leca balls in here and the roots are insane. I'm really nervous about transferring this to soil because it's such a fancy, cute plant. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Comment below if you think I should transfer this to soil or keep it in water. I'm honestly torn. Next up is the philodendron melanochrysum. I'm looking over and I'm like, everything's a philodendron. Because if you don't know, I love philodendrons. I have a ton of varieties of philodendrons and I just think they're the easiest plant to take care of. I have an entire philodendron collection video, which I will link above. I just love them. They are literally, to me, one of the easiest plants to care for, and one type that I don't really have that much trouble with. But this is the melanochrysum. This is the second one I have. The first one I bought specifically for the store, so I don't have it anymore. And when I saw there was another one, I was like, I gotta get it. I love this plant. So it's currently in moss. I've had it for a few weeks now, and I'm gonna transfer it to soil because the one that I had originally was in soil and I grew it up a pole and I feel like it grew really easily. Care, water, when the soil's dry. I mean, there's really nothing to it. I will say I do have these. I've had them under the grow light and I feel like the grow lights have just helped so much. So I don't love this in moss just because I've never had one in moss. It's been in soil. And I feel like with soil it's easier to maintain, in my opinion. But it's just a beautiful plant and I want to get it to climb. The last one, I got it I think to maybe about right here, but I want to get this to climb, like climb. Like, when I say climb, I want it to climb, and it got some big, beautiful, gorgeous leaves. But yeah, this one is a crowd favorite. Now we have the philodendron burle Marx Fantasy. This is one I don't see talked about that much. I will say, since I put it on a pole, it has shot up quicker than I expected. and it's already kind of attached to the pole, and I'm gonna have to get it another one. And I think I'm gonna switch from poles to actually planks of wood so that I can really get that climbing thing that I want, but I want them to be tinier pieces of wood so they can still be under my little grow light setup. So I'm gonna have to configure that very, very soon, because I have a lot of plants that I put on poles maybe within the last 2 months that are already outgrowing their poles, which is a good thing, but that means I need to create more. So Marx Fantasy, when I got this, it was only these 2 leaves at the bottom, so it's giving me 1, 2, and we're working on our 3rd leaf. I know the way that this plant looks when it's mature, so that's what I'm really excited for. Honestly, this one is a no-brainer for me as well. When I got this, the person said that it likes high humidity. And for me, the way that I've created humidity without having like a greenhouse cabinet or a greenhouse in general is just clear plastic boxes that you can just take the lid off, or you can put holes in to make sure everything has air circulation, and it sits under the grow light. And it's growing a lot faster than it was before, and I honestly think it's due to the pole. I honestly think that's why it's growing so fast. But the leaves are like very, I think the word is iridescent, maybe that's what I'm looking for. But they also have this very interesting pattern that I don't feel like I've seen before in any type of plant. And I just know this plant is just gonna look so fucking good soon. Like, I know it is. But yeah, philodendron burle Marx Fantasy, cute, very cute. If you've been following my channel or my videos for a while, you'll know that I've mentioned this plant multiple times because I just love it. And I actually have 3. Don't laugh. The philodendron gloriosum. So I have this one, I have a dark form, and I have a really little chunk that just sprouted its first little leaf. I can't get enough of this plant. I cannot get enough of it. I just think it looks so good. It just looks so good, and I literally don't do anything for it. I've actually accidentally overwatered this twice, and the reason why I did that was because I was bottom watering it, and then I forgot that I was bottom watering it, and then it's like the next day or hours later, and then I go and pick it up and I'm like, oh my god, please don't hate me, please don't hate me. I can see a little bit of the what's the word, it starts with a G, I'll type it on the screen, happening a little bit, but hopefully it won't ruin it, because this is the newest leaf, and it's just like, I cannot wait to see how big this leaf gets. My other gloriosum, I'll actually show it to you, hold on. This is the other gloriosum, the dark form. This is the original leaf. It's crinkling, it'll probably die, but not a big deal. This is the newest leaf. It's literally the size of my frickin' face. Do you see that? I love this, it's so easy. Gloriosums are so easy to me, and these were one of the first like fancier plants. That and the melanochrysum are more of the fancier plants that I got. And this one, like, I could have 10 of these and I would be happy. Like, I would be happy because I love the look and I love the care, and it's very rewarding to see these leaves unfurl and just grow big. And there is another little guy coming in very, very soon. I will say I do like that I like that you can really tell when they need water, not necessarily in the leaves, but just like, honestly, most of my plants, I'll just pick them up and feel like this. I'm like, that's dry. Sometimes I double check, most of the time I don't. But honestly, I feel like with my gloriosums, I can just kind of look at them and be like, you need some water, don't you? And I'll just water them and then they're just happy. But yeah, that new leaf, oh my goodness, it's so huge. I think it's bigger than my other one. So this is the regular, this is the dark form. I think, yeah, this new leaf has been out for a while. This one literally just unfurled in the last few days. So they're definitely competing for biggest leaf plant that I have. I'm looking around my plant room and I'm like, yeah, these are my big leaves, my big leaf babies. But gloriosum, if you don't have one of these, get it. I love them. I love them. I think they're worth the hype. I feel like they just look so freaking good. So I have the dark form, the regular one, and I feel like there's another one that I've seen. Maybe it's a hybrid or a mix. But I'm interested in getting that one too. I love these. I love gloriosums. And last but not least is the biggest uncommon plant that I have, and that is my philodendron bipennifolium aurea. It's so big it doesn't even fit on the screen. I think I talked about this in a video where I was talking about how you can get expensive plants for cheap. I'll link that above. But honestly, I have done nothing with this plant. Like, when I tell you I have done nothing, it's in moss. It needs to be watered, but I've done nothing. And it's grown from like, I think from right here. So since I got it, 1, 2, 3, and a new one coming right here. I literally just keep it in moss. That's it. It's not under a grow light. It's next to my humidifier that I always forget to fill up. So it's not even getting like super high humidity or anything like that. And it was already air layered when I got it. I kind of might go back and re-energize that air layering and then propagate. But I love the bipennifolium. I have a smaller one that's just a regular bipennifolium. And I just think they're so cute, and I love the way that they grow. Even though this one's kind of crooked, I don't know if I'll keep a pole, it's already outgrown the pole, or if I'll switch to a, what is it called? A plank. But I might, just to try it, but I kind of just love it in moss. It's just hanging out, and literally keep the moss moist. That's literally it. It's so freaking easy. Now I want to hear from you. What is your favorite uncommon beginner-friendly houseplant? I want you to comment that below, and I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.